Good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Carmelo Lattuca in the 1011 Now streaming studio. I was going to say the Severe Weather Center. I'm not in the Severe Weather Center. I'm in the 1011 Now streaming studio, but we have plenty to talk about regarding severe weather. We could see some scattered severe thunderstorms this evening. We've already seen some scattered severe thunderstorms earlier today, and then we could see numerous severe thunderstorms as we go into the day tomorrow. So let's start off with, as always, the Lincoln Weather Almanac. High temperature today in the capital city, 89 degrees. The average high for this time of year, also 89. So it was a pretty average day overall. Our low temperature, just a couple of degrees above average. But moving on now to our precipitation almanac, we saw 0.03 of an inch today. So not record rainfall by any means, but every little bit counts. And so for the month overall, 1.03 inches. The normal at this point, just under 0.75 of an inch. So we are running a little bit above average for the month. That's always a good sign. Yearly, 10.37 inches. We should be closer to 16 inches, and that means we're still running over 5.5 inches below normal for yearly precipitation. As we take a look at Lincoln rainfall for just Sunday, this is just Sunday, July 6th, not so much in the capital city. There are some locations that really didn't see anything. Similar to yesterday, we showed the time-lapse on the news last night at 10 and showed that parts of the city, you could see the clouds, you could see the rain falling from the clouds, but then some parts of the city just saw complete sunshine, and that's essentially what happened out there today. Less than a tenth of an inch area wide, but observed precipitation over the last 24 hours off to the north and the west. Well, we've seen some higher amounts, over 0.75 of an inch in Albion, almost an inch and a half out in Valentine, about a third of an inch in Ainsworth, under half an inch out in Thetford, quarter of an inch in Beatrice, about a tenth of an inch in Nebraska City. Highest amounts, though, really just not at our observed stations, south of Lexington, west of Holdridge, and north and east of McCook. We saw some decent amounts of rainfall there with some flood advisories out into southwestern Nebraska. Now, low temperature-wise, this morning we dropped down into the mid-50s, 54 degrees out in Sydney, 68 degrees in Lincoln, 70 degrees in some spots, but for our Skyview cams, plenty of sunshine to be seen, except out in North Platte. It looks a little bit darker, a little bit more ominous there, and that's where we're seeing the severe weather just to the west of North Platte out into the Panhandle, but mostly sunny conditions to partly cloudy skies for the rest of the state. 84 at the studio, 84 at the airport, feel like temperature 87 degrees, dew point at 68 degrees, winds are calm at this hour. Temperature-wise, in town, we range anywhere from about 82 degrees, I think I'm seeing on the cool end, up to 87 degrees on the warm end. Temperatures across the state, they vary widely. 84 degrees in Scottsbluff, but where we're seeing that rain, it's 68 degrees in Sydney, 76 in McCook, 84 degrees in Omaha, 85 in Beatrice. 85 in Beatrice, that is the warm spot at this hour. Dew points, they're still high out there, and maybe not as high as what we saw yesterday, but upper 60s to low 70s across much of central and eastern Nebraska. So that is raising our feel-like temperatures just a little bit. Feels like 88 degrees in Beatrice, Nebraska City, as well as in Fall City. Wind speed and direction out of the north, northeast, northwest, and eastern and northeastern Nebraska. More of a southerly direction once you go into central and southwestern Nebraska. Not seeing much in terms of wind gusts at this hour. Sydney, a 37-mile-per-hour wind gust, 23-mile-per-hour wind gust out in McCook. Nothing to be seen elsewhere. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings right now. One in extreme southwestern Nebraska, a couple into the Panhandle, the southern Panhandle, and one in extreme northwestern Nebraska, out to the northwestern portion of the Panhandle. Did see some showers and thunderstorms in central and eastern Nebraska earlier this afternoon, but most, if not all, of that activity now is in southern as well as into western Nebraska. We're seeing widely scattered severe thunderstorm warnings. We have some in Kansas, some in Colorado, some in South Dakota, some in Wyoming, some in Oklahoma. But for the most part, severe weather off into our south and west. We're also seeing some showers and thunderstorms off to our east, but the main weather activity across the country are these severe thunderstorm warnings and watches in the heartland, and we're also seeing those flooding advisories, watches, and warnings continue out into central and southern Texas. But as we take a look at the weather alerts a little bit closer to home, some flood advisories to the southeast and North Platte. Severe thunderstorm watch continues in southwestern Nebraska until midnight tonight. Severe thunderstorm watch in the Panhandle continues until 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So this is the severe weather outlook for the rest of today. Scattered severe thunderstorms possible in the yellow shaded areas, so mainly western Nebraska. Isolated severe thunderstorms possible in central Nebraska. On Monday, the orange shaded area, we could see numerous severe thunderstorms, and now we're talking about tennis ball sized hail, winds at or above 75 miles per hour, and a few tornadoes possible as well. So we'll have to be on high alert for the severe thunderstorms out there to central and western Nebraska Monday afternoon and evening. Isolated severe thunderstorms are possible, though, here in the capital city. No severe weather risk on Tuesday, just that general thunderstorm outlook, and then we have another chance for scattered severe thunderstorms on Thursday. That would be mainly into northern and northwestern Nebraska. Playing out Skycast for the rest of this evening, though, but notice by 8 p.m., we have a line of showers and thunderstorms out in western Nebraska. And that moves closer to central Nebraska by midnight, and these storms may continue into the overnight hours as well before we quiet down early Monday morning. Now, the first half of Monday looks to be quiet for the most part. We could see some showers and thunderstorms in southeastern Nebraska late Monday morning into Monday afternoon. We'll have to watch out for some possible severe weather there, but the bulk of the activity would be off into western and northern Nebraska late tomorrow afternoon into the evening and potentially into the overnight hours as well before we quiet down on Tuesday. Tuesday will be a different story, mostly sunny conditions overall. Then we'll watch out for some widely scattered showers and thunderstorms off to our north and west. In terms of flash flooding, it's going to be very isolated in nature. Southwestern Nebraska could see some storms that already have produced some flooding out to the west, can continue to do so tonight. On Monday, a more widespread, isolated, marginal risk for flash flooding. Not expecting flooding so much on Tuesday. Extreme southeastern Nebraska has that potential. No flash flood threat on Wednesday, and then we're watching out for Thursday. That would be mainly into northern and northeastern Nebraska, just to the north of the capital city. And we're going to move on now to our precipitation potential over the next 3 days. We have continued to see rounds of showers and thunderstorms over the next 72 hours, and that's going to likely result in half of an inch to maybe up to 1 to perhaps almost 2 inches of rain, more likely half an inch to about an inch and a half. As we wait for our colors to populate here, I think the highest chances of seeing some decent rainfall will be in the areas that essentially need it the most in central and western Nebraska. We're seeing those bright blues there, so that's indicating up to an inch and a half. In Lincoln, for the most part, a tenth to maybe up to a half of an inch of rain. Move on to the 7-day potential. See a little bit more purple pop up on the map from southwestern into northeastern Nebraska. This is indicating the potential for 2 inches, but a lot of blue on this map, so at least an inch of rain possibly over the next 7 days. Taking a little bit of a closer look at Skycast, notice those showers and thunderstorms moving from western Nebraska into central Nebraska and eventually maybe into eastern Nebraska, but the severe weather should be winding down, and by 3 a.m. we're still possibly dealing with storms. 7 a.m. Monday morning, though, pretty quiet. We got some cloud cover, mostly cloudy skies in central and eastern Nebraska. And then isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms really begin to develop late Monday morning into Monday afternoon in southeastern locations. That will continue into Monday evening, and then perhaps we could see showers and thunderstorms off to the west and off to our north. Those would be the ones that are concerned about the tennis ball-sized hail and the 75-plus mile-per-hour wind gusts. We are concerned about that as we get into the day tomorrow, and then we should be quieting down as we get into late Monday evening and perhaps not even until early Tuesday morning. And then once again, most, if not all of Tuesday, expected to be pretty quiet. Widespread statewide rainfall is not expected at this time. Moving on to our temperatures, though, upper 50s to the west, mid to upper 60s in central Nebraska, right around 70 degrees to the east overnight tonight. High temperatures on Monday, coolest off to the north. Pretty similar to today, low 80s to the north. We're talking about upper 80s to right around 90 degrees to the south, only 86 degrees in Lincoln. It's a couple degrees shy, 2 or 3 degrees shy of our average high. Forecasted low temperatures on Tuesday, 50s off to our north and west, mid 60s in central Nebraska, upper 60s off to the east, so just a little bit cooler there. And then we'll start to warm up Tuesday afternoon, mid 90s in the Panhandle, mid to upper 80s in central and southern Nebraska, not so much in terms of the low 80s anymore. Low temperatures Wednesday, upper 50s to mid 60s, so just a little bit cooler than once again Wednesday morning. And then Wednesday afternoon, triple digits off to the west, upper 90s to the southwest, right around 91 degrees in the capital city. So Wednesday and Thursday, I believe, look to be our warmest days of the week. And then forecasted low temperatures Thursday morning will be dropping down into the mid to upper 60s to right around 70. So we start to warm up, and then we warm up even further Thursday, 93 in Lincoln, 92 in McCook, 92 degrees in Imperial. Upper 80s the next couple of days. Best chance of rain in the next 7 days will be Monday and Tuesday. Primarily Monday is going to be our best chance over the next 7 days. And then only a 20% chance of rain Thursday through Sunday. And our temperatures, we got the warming trend through Thursday, and then a cold front moves through and drops our highs back down to the mid to upper 80s next weekend. In terms of where it looks to be the warmest and when over the next 10 days, that will likely be Wednesday and Thursday, more so Wednesday, especially off to the west. And we cool down a little bit on Thursday. Coolest conditions over the next 10 days look to be on Friday, July 11th. We're talking about upper 70s in O'Neill, Valentine, perhaps in Norfolk, and then up to the mid 80s. And then we start to warm up as we get into the weekend, especially Sunday and Monday. Now we're talking July 13th and July 14th before we cool down a little bit further into July 16th. That's a Wednesday. Dew points look to be pretty humid as we go through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then by Friday things begin to change. So Monday through Thursday, pretty humid out there. On Friday, dew points drop down to the upper 40s to mid 70s, so still humid in eastern Nebraska. And then on Saturday, we look to be more comfortable as we go across the state before the humidity jumps right back up on Sunday. Statewide rain chances. On Monday, they look to be pretty widespread. We're talking about a 40 to about 70% chance overall. Pretty quiet Tuesday, Wednesday. Start to see our rain chances return Thursday and Friday, and then pretty quiet right now, at least as of right now, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday before those chances bump up just a little bit next Wednesday, the following Wednesday. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. We're talking about above average temperatures across the state, July 14th through July 20th. So this will likely mean we'll see at least a few more 90s across the board. No surprise there as we go into the middle to end of July. Warmest conditions in northwestern Nebraska. And then for the precipitation outlook, maybe slightly below average in extreme northwestern Nebraska. Near normal conditions expected across the majority of the state. We'd like to see more green on this map, but we're happy we're not in that tan shaded area overall. Definitely don't want to see any below average rainfall. But scattered severe thunderstorms remain possible off to the west tonight. Severe thunderstorm watches, multiple watches in place between 9 p.m. and midnight. Could see those expanded further east. We could see the times extended, but numerous severe thunderstorms are possible as we get into the afternoon and evening tomorrow. Make sure to stay weather aware. Stay tuned to the latest forecast. I'll have the latest forecast details on 10:11 News at 10. Brad Anderson will have the latest forecast details as we get into Monday morning, and then Brandon Rector and Ken Shemek will have the latest forecast details tomorrow afternoon and evening. Make sure to watch 10:11 throughout the evening tonight and throughout the day tomorrow. We'll have the latest details. Numerous severe thunderstorms possible once again as we get into the day on Monday off into the west. Have a great night, everyone. As always, stay hydrated. It's still warm out there. We're not in the 90s statewide, but we're still in the mid to upper 80s. Have a great night, everyone.